Welcome to Mallet and Michelle. I am Michelle and this is Steve, and we are official supporters of the new Driftwood Springs High School. Colors and mascot to be determined. But please don't make it the Wolves or the Bruins or however you say it.
I liked the Wolves.
That's stupid.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah, it is. It's stupid.
Yeah, I think the Wolves would be good. Oh,
I like the Rattlers. I thought that was really cool.
Rattlers is not bad.
And then there was another one, they said the Timberwolves.
Timberwolves.
The Timberwolves was it.
What's
And then
wrong with
the
that?
saber-toothed tigers, that one was kind of cool.
No, that's terrible.
Well,
Absolutely terrible.
it's better than the
Saber-toothed tigers?
it's better than the unicorns. I would love to know who was in that planning committee in New Braunfels that was like, I know what we're gonna do.
Hey, you know the sad part of that is they were probably serious. That wasn't even tongue in cheek. They were like, we should call them the unicorns.
How about the puppies? Let's
The
call them the puppies.
The kitties and the puppies.
That's right. That's right. So we can't do this show without our great sponsors, and we have some amazing ones. As a matter of fact, today we have one in studio.
In studio, Hunter Dolinger's with us, so he's going to join us in a couple minutes. So, but first, got to thank everybody that pays the bills here.
Absolutely. Deep Eddy Vodka Tasting Room.
There's still time to sit, sip, and enjoy some time at the best tasting room in Dripping Springs. Stop by today for a cocktail and some downtime.
There's a lot of S's in that.
There was a lot. I tripped over a couple of them, but
Sip,
that's all right.
sip,
and
stop.
enjoy and some
Sip,
time.
sip, and stop.
Stop.
South Star Bank. Oh, we love our people over at
Yes,
South Star
we
Bank.
do.
They are always supporting us.
They take good care of us. Find out why local banks are better than big national banks. You get top-notch service, better banking products, and the tellers know you by your name. Stop by South Star Bank today.
They also have good snacks in the lobby.
They do.
They really.
I bet Bank of America doesn't have that.
I bet you they don't. I bet you Chase won't even let you take a pen anymore.
No, probably
So
not.
it's attached.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. We have Black Slate Construction and Black Slate Roofing.
Kitchen or master bath looking a little dated? Call Black Slate Construction today to get a no-obligation bid to turn, we really need to update this place, into, why didn't we do this sooner?
That's a good transition, Steve. I'm
So
very
like
proud
that,
of you. You're
yeah.
working on your acting skills. I like that. Very good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mallet Integrity Team. If that job doesn't work out, you could be a voiceover
I could
actor.
be a voiceover actor?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Maybe, has anybody hiring for that? I might go audition for that.
Yeah, they are. They are on the corner.
Yeah, on the corner. There are two types of real estate agents in the world today. Those that fake it and barely get by, and those that know the industry inside and out. The Mallet Integrity Team has the experience and knowledge you deserve. Call today.
Fake it till you make it?
No. There's no faking here. We know it.
What have I been
We're
doing
making
for
it.
the last 11 years?
Yes.
I am faking the entire time. What are you talking about?
Some days I just come to work and fake it all day long. Well, today's guest is Hunter Dolinger, owner of Black Slate Roofing and Black Slate Construction. He's a guy who's built a strong reputation around Dripping Springs for doing quality work and treating people right. From storm damage and roofing to full construction projects, Hunter's become a trusted name for homeowners who want straight answers and solid results. That was a long sentence. He's also one of those rare contractors realtors actually enjoy calling, which tells you a lot right there.
Well, thanks for coming, Hunter. It's been a great podcast.
Welcome to the show, Hunter.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, thanks for being such a great sponsor. We were excited when you guys came on with us.
Yes, Hunter, thank you so much for being a great sponsor, because I just think the world of you. I really do. And I should have used you the first time. I say that quite often on the podcast, but
And Hunter so friendly doesn't say, I told you so.
He does sometimes.
Yeah.
He does. He just says it with a smirk.
Yeah. Well, I've known you a long time, but I realized when we sat down to do this, I really don't know you that well. So this is exciting for me to get to know your background. And so we always start off with, where'd you grow up and how'd you end up here you live in Austin, but the Dripping Springs area?
So I grew up in Portland, Texas, small town outside of Corpus Christi, and I was raised there from about 5 till when I escaped around 23.
Okay.
So
What'd you do when you were growing up?
surfed and fished.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
He
lots
lived
of-
in Gregory, Portland, or
Yeah.
just Portland?
Portland.
Yeah.
proper.
I don't know where that is. Is
It's over the bridge.
oh.
Over the bridge.
It's on the north side of Corpus Christi.
Yeah.
Is there any surfing there?
When you're a kid, you can surf the waves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, not when you're an adult.
Yeah, they're smaller.
1 to 2 foot little beach breaks.
Yeah.
You got to bob and weave from the jellyfish and the seaweed that is there.
And the tar in the water from the tankers.
Oh gosh, remember when you were kids, like the tar in the water?
I had tar on my surfboards and tar in the house.
So like, did you ever go? Were you as fascinated or unfascinated like I was by spring break when people would come like just take over your town?
Yeah, they took over the beach at that point. It was always trashy afterwards, so we had to deal with trash.
Yeah, I never saw the allure. I remember when I moved out of Corpus and I moved to San Antonio and was going to college there, and people were saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to the coast. I'm going to the coast," and I had no idea what they were talking about because on the coast you don't call it the coast. You just call it Corpus or Padre. You know, it's like the first time I ever heard about it. Do you miss living down there? You have a house down there though, right? Don't you?
In Port O'Connor, it's north.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's north of Rockport for, as far as geographical, about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
North, so.
Did you always want to be in construction and stuff when you were?
Didn't have a clue.
No.
So when you were 23 and you left, what did you leave for?
To get out of the area.
Yeah, that's what most people do.
Yeah. I went off to Portland, Oregon.
Mhm.
My brother was living up there for a while. I missed him a lot, so I wanted to be a part of his life.
Yeah.
And so I spent about 1 year up there and missed the coast.
Yes. Do you have a brother and a sister?
I do.
You do.
Yeah,
Are you
but
baby?
I'm the youngest. I'll be
Oh.
50 next month on Juneteenth. And,
Yeah.
Oh, Juneteenth.
And then my brother's, he's 2 years older. My sister's 4.
How'd you like Portland? That was roughly 25 years ago?
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was a great town. I mean, it's, it's kind of tanked in the last 10 years, but I think
Is your
it's coming
brother
back.
still there?
He's still up there.
Yeah, and does he still like it?
He does.
Interesting.
I was talking to Hunter when I was in Portland. I think it was like 2 weeks now, and he was like, "Oh, where are you?" And I was telling him where I was. So I think that's it's cool. It's a beautiful. It really is. It's
It
beautiful.
is a really pretty
but
area.
I was telling Hunter too about the people watching I did on Hawthorne Street. It was like primo.
Yeah.
Primo.
It's an interesting town. It's you get just outside of Portland and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Portland's okay.
Well, Tate started picking up fly fishing. Were you fly fishing when you were down there? Because I'm
I
guessing
didn't fish at all when I was there. I
you
don't
didn't?
fish freshwater at all. It's only saltwater.
Yeah. Why is that? What's the allure to the saltwater versus the freshwater?
The strength in the fish, for one.
Really?
Yeah, and I prefer to eat fish that are come out of the saltwater. Just the water flows a little bit better, and then stagnant water and lakes and ponds and stuff like that does not appeal to me at all.
Oh, I didn't think about it in
It has
that sense.
has a cleaner taste to it, right?
It's just different.
Yeah.
What's your favorite fish to catch and or eat?
So I catch mostly redfish. For the most part, that's what I target every other weekend.
Yeah, I know. You're
That's my
always
escape.
you're always there.
So
And are you on a
I do
boat?
work, by the way.
Yeah.
Are you on a boat or a kayak?
I have a boat.
Have a boat.
Yeah. So
Todd likes to go out into the lighthouse lakes and go fishing for reds or whatever. Do you ever gig for flounder?
it's been a minute, but I've been trying to get back into it.
That's a lot of fun.
So you're 23, 24 years old, living in Portland. You lived there for a year. What happened after that?
I missed the coast, so I went back to Corpus Christi for a minute, and I ended up being the general manager of the first Prime Steakhouse in Corpus Christi area, and the Coastal Bend, and I was there for 2 years, and we had another guy come in from Florida from a world famous restaurant in Tampa, and so I went out there directly to that restaurant.
To
for a
Tampa?
minute.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
So had the world's largest wine selection, so I went to Burns Steakhouse for a minute, and then decided to come back to Austin.
So you were working as a chef in
I was in the front of the house.
the front. Okay. So you're working in a fancy restaurant, and somewhere along the way you decided to get into construction.
Yeah. So I came back to Austin. I was still in the restaurant and bar business for a long time, the steakhouse business, and started selling real estate in 2004 for a few years.
Okay.
And I wasn't good at it, but I loved just being inside the properties and just seeing old houses and really nice houses. And I, at that point, was teaching myself how to remodel my own house. So, and I just dug it. So I basically taught myself everything I know.
Wow.
So
At what-
researched everything online, of course.
Yeah. And which was a lot harder back then than
Yeah.
it is now.
Yeah.
At what point did you say, "Oh, I need to start a construction company and a roofing business"?
2008 happened, kind of
Yeah.
changed the world for a lot of people. So I decided that I needed to have something that was more sustainable than having both real estate and high-end steakhouse business both went down at the same time.
Wow.
So I jumped into my first construction job and didn't last very long as far as working for that company. But I was like, I can figure this out. And so just started from one trade to another. Started with floors, started with fences, started with decking, just started adding one trade after another, and got to know them all really well.
Just like in the restaurant business, front of the house versus back of the house. I worked at Water Street Oyster Bar in Corpus for a long, long time. I love that place. But as in construction, do you like the front of the house, the inside of the house, or the outside of the house better?
It depends on what time of year it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's freezing. I want to be
The
inside.
devil's in the details now, though, too. You know, like with a lot of the things that are on the interior of the house, more of the decor side, right? I went floor shopping with Hunter one time, and that was fun because I know what I want, and I'm sure he said I like somebody that knows what they want, because a lot of times they don't know what they want, and so he's having to guide them towards, okay, I think this would look good for you, right? Is that kind of?
Yeah, for the most part. And there's a lot more detail on the inside, but there's a lot of detail on the outside too.
Yeah.
It just depends what what you're trying to achieve.
What you're trying to accomplish.
Do you have people that, because I know me, I have no design skills whatsoever. If I didn't have Michelle, everything would look terrible. But do you have people that help you with that talk people through that?
Yeah, so literally I just came from a designer meeting at 9:30 this morning in Circle C. So
Okay.
first thing was a kitchen redesign that we're doing for a client. And, they're helping our client, our mutual client, pick out all the finishes and stuff in the kitchen and the bathrooms and the floors and everything else. But as far as myself helping all of my clients, not everybody can afford it.
Yeah.
So, and I absolutely offer it to everybody whenever I get started. I'm like, okay, let's go get some of the major parts out of the way, backsplash floors.
So we know what it's going to cost.
Go slab shopping for
Yeah.
countertops and all that stuff, and I'll help them do the design and see
Yeah.
what they like. And so I'll just, I'll spend a few hours with them around town, and we'll go shopping, and then if they want to go, continue to shop on their own, then they can go afterwards.
Yeah.
So if one of the questions someone asks you, and I'm sure you get this a lot, it's like, okay, usually it's on social media or whatnot. Oh, well, how much do you charge for a bathroom remodel? How much do you charge for a kitchen remodel? Yeah, and so it all depends on what choices that you are making. Okay, well, it could be anywhere between, I'm going to say, $10,000 up to, but the sky's the limit.
You may not know Chuck Lamont. He's been a builder out here for a long time, and his analogy was, it's like somebody saying, how much is a red car? And like, okay, are you talking red Corolla or are you talking red Ferrari? Because they're both cars. But yeah, it's the same. It's the same kind of analogy. Like, yeah, you can do a cheap bathroom or you can do a really nice bathroom.
See, and someone like me, because I've been in this industry for a long, long time. Like, I like to cut out the middleman, and I like to go to the sketchy South Austin where they have the slabs in their backyard. That's where I got my kitchen countertops. And I'm like, he knows, I don't know where these slabs came from, and I'm not asking any questions.
It came from one of Hunter's job sites.
Probably it did. It probably did.
That actually reminds me, do you have a problem with people stealing stuff from your job sites?
Not so much out here in Austin, I do.
Yeah.
Really? Do you have to do cameras and stuff like that?
I've done cameras, done security. We've had paid security and still got robbed.
Really?
Yeah, and we give it over to APD. They look at it and they would just drop on the phone, like, we're not interested.
What are they
that's
stealing?
You could see their faces, their tattoos, like perfectly clear as we are standing next to each other, and they're like,
Yeah.
they just put it across the desk.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Are they stealing tools that have been? I mean, I guess you're trying to tell
Well, it's
contractors.
breaking and entering, trespassing, stealing tools, stealing materials, and so
Materials is probably the big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were building this building that we're in right now, they delivered one of those big tool lockers, those big heavy tool lockers, and somebody came in the middle of the night and broke into that and stole all their tools.
It doesn't keep anybody out.
Yeah.
Are people still stealing copper from?
100%.
Really?
And as copper goes up, it's just going to continue to do that for infinity.
That's great. How many employees do you have, or under you?
So we have about 40 people, unless between employees and subcontractors that work for us on every single job that we go to. So it just depends on we've got multiple sets of painters, multiple sets of tile guys, multiple carpenters, you know.
And you have your
second
like
roofers.
preferred vendors. So let's say like, you know, you have a painter. The painter doesn't necessarily work for Black Slate full time. They are their own independent contractor, right?
We do have full-time that
but
work
you have
for us
full-time.
also, yeah.
Is it hard to keep those subcontractors, keep their quality of work good and keep them taking care of you?
No, they've been working for us for a long time.
Yeah.
So they're on top of it. They know what we demand to them on a daily basis on the job sites and everything else. So.
I want to talk about roofing because it's a big part of what you guys do is roof repairs and replacements. And I know it's a big thing. Anytime there's a storm out here, people start knocking on neighborhood doors. Tell me what should somebody say when somebody knocks on their door about their roof? And what do you recommend they should, the next step should be after they do whatever they're supposed to do when somebody's at the door?
Well, I mean, being out here, first of all, whether or not you're in HOA or not in HOA makes a big difference. Because if you're in an HOA and it's no solicitation, that's already breaking the rules.
Right.
So
and they don't care.
No,
most of them don't care.
Yeah.
They're just going to do it and get out there and knock anyway. And so, which is offensive to a lot of people.
And it's why people look at roofers, just for instance, like ambulance chasers. Oh, there's a hailstorm, and here's the ambulance chasers that are coming. And so you guys, I think, are kind of you're not a fly by night kind of company.
Yeah, we're not knocking on a bunch of doors. We don't send out vans full of people, which happens here in Austin.
Really?
They'll have 10, 15 guys at a time. They'll drop them off in the neighborhood and just say, just get to work. And I'm just not interested in doing that. Also, as far as something like bulk sales and stuff like that, yes, I want to be productive and I want to make money as a business in general. And, everybody that works for me also do well. But at the same time, I'm not trying to, pick up 50 contracts in a day and then fall behind on actually the, face-to-face and being able to, just have that personal touch with each client.
My understanding is a lot of those guys that are storm chasers like that, the quality of work is not very good. It's actually, in some cases, terrible.
Yeah, I mean, this past year has been really hard. We haven't had a whole lot of hailstorms. And the ones that, recently came, it's like we have people from Dallas in here the next morning.
Yeah.
So they're also in Illinois and New York City just chasing storms because there hasn't been a whole lot.
Tell me about there's an app or something that you guys are privy to. It's like a hailstorm kind of tracking app, or like it. So like when you're dealing, I had to do this myself, and I think you did also. When you have a hailstorm that's coming and you're trying to fight with your insurance company, you're able to like see on what date, if in this zip code or this area. How does that work?
There's a lot of them now, but just like hail traces for one of the general ones, you still have to pay for it, but. Basically, whenever the storm comes through, it texts me immediately, emails me, and then shows the swath of where the hail hit. And it'll go down to the address. So I can be like, okay, well, where's your address? And it'll be like, okay, well, you're on, 100 Belterra Road or whatever else. And it'll say back to May 26th of 2025. It'll show 3/4 inch hail and 50 miles an hour winds at your location. And then you can go over 2 blocks over, and it's completely different.
And nothing.
Yeah.
Well, or it just has a different size or different wind.
So somebody knocks on the door, you slam the door in their face. What's the next thing they should do as far as insurance and giving you a call? How's that work?
We typically will walk our clients through on the process of just making the claim. First of all, a lot of people have a hard time with it because they don't understand it, and we'll walk them through it online if they want to do it.
Do you recommend them calling you first before they call the insurance company, or call the insurance company before they call you? Because what if you go up there and you're like, you don't think there's a claim?
If I don't think there's a claim, then I would suggest for them not to do it.
Okay.
Because it can hurt them.
So call you first.
Call you
Depends
first.
on the insurance,
Okay.
absolutely. But yeah, they would want to contact us first. We're going to go up and check out the roof, and then when we come down, we're going to show them any documentation of whatever we have is damage to the roof at that time. If we feel like it's a good fit, and there's more than a 50% chance that we're going to get it claimed, then we're going to suggest for them to pull the claim then.
And when the insurance adjuster comes out there and they walk that roof and they go, nope, we don't have a claim. What I like about what you're doing is a lot of times you actually meet the insurance adjuster up there. So tell me that process, like between the insurance company actually seeing something, because there's such a, it feels like fuzzy science, right?
Yeah, what I normally see is the roofer looks at the roof and says, yeah, you got all this damage. And then a lot of times, not every time, the adjuster comes and says, no, there's no damage.
Right. So adjusters do work for the insurance companies,
Mhm.
and we all know insurance companies don't want to pay out. So let's just start with that. There's obvious damage, and then there's remedial damage, and then there's no damage. So there's different levels of all of it. The adjusters will sometimes they're third parties, sometimes they work for direct like State Farm, Allstate, and stuff like that. And there's other third-party adjusters that come out there, and they basically come out there and do the report. They submit it to them, and they're paid a one-time fee, and that's it. But they're still working for that company. It's just a subcontractor for State Farm.
They don't get like a kickback if
they don't
the
get paid
insurance-
differently either way. They just get paid for each one. But if they were to show a bunch of losses, they're no longer going to get those.
They probably won't be on the list of people to call.
Correct.
Yeah. So you come out, you say there's damage. The adjuster comes out and says there's no damage. What happens then?
Yeah, what warrants damage for the insurance company
Yeah,
to
but
say?
what's the next step after that?
Right. So we can obviously we send in a bunch of documentation. We mark off everything on the roof. So in the roof world, every 10 foot by 10 foot is considered square.
Okay.
So if you have a 4,000 square foot roof, it would be 40 squares.
Right.
So each insurance company has got dictation in their policies on how many hits of hail are damaged in that 10 by 10 area. So
In
maybe
one individual 10 by
It's
10.
got to be on
okay.
different slopes of the roof, whether it's north, south, east, or west elevation. And so some of them want 50%, some of them have to be, on all 4 different slopes.
Oh,
So,
Interesting.
so some might be only 6 hits in a square, some might be 8. So it just depends on
just
the
because
insurance
there's
company.
hits doesn't necessarily mean that it's.
Yeah. So
Right.
the adjuster says there's 3 and there's supposed to be 6, and so the insurance company says no, there's no claim. We're not paying on the claim. Then what do you do?
Then we can continue to fight them. We can also ask for a reschedule.
Okay.
And so we ask for another inspection and have another adjuster come out,
Okay.
which can work. And 50% of the time, it's actually it does a little bit better.
Yeah.
And that's when you meet the
Yeah.
adjuster out there a lot of times. And
We'll continue to meet the adjusters out there every time. We don't really want them on the roof without us.
yeah.
Because then they can just be like, I've got, things going on, people got personal stuff, you can look for a million different reasons. They've got too many houses built up that, in their schedule that day, and they're just trying to plow through them. So they're going to look and be like, all right, I'm done, there's nothing here.
And they're taking the age of the
Yeah.
roof and granular loss also into consideration in addition to hail loss. I mean, we're just talking about hail loss right now, but when they're up there, they're also looking at the age, the
Right, which
granular.
this all depreciates the roof over time, so your roof becomes worth, less money than it was if it was, a year or two old. But I think that whenever you're face to face with them on the roof, you can point out all the hail hits, and they might mark them up, they might not, but at least you're there to help that
Yeah.
situation. And you have to mark off the areas for them to be able to mark them off in also. And so sometimes they won't let us do it at all. They're like, they basically sit back and say, hey, this is me. You can just watch what we're doing. You can document it, but that's it. So it just depends on the company. It depends on the adjuster.
What about roughly what percentage of roofs that you go up on and say there's damage and a claim should be filed? What percentage of those actually get an insurance payout? Roughly, a third, half,
No,
3/4.
I mean, I would say it's more than 50%, just because the chances are that there's going to be hail damage on that roof. If let's just say the roof's 10 years old,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
the chances of that being hit with roof in last 10 years are almost 70%.
Yeah.
So whether or not you can see it, or from the naked eye, or if you're actually looking for it, it's completely different.
Why are we ground zero for hail here in this area?
Why aren't we?
Why are we?
Oh.
I feel like we're just constantly.
It's actually a lot less here, and if you look at the storm systems, the way they come from the northwest and they come down, they actually dip down and they hit Dallas a lot, and then they basically you have the Gulf, pushing back up all the moisture and all the warm water and warm air, I should say, up against the cold air that's coming down. So that actually pushes a lot, and it fluctuates northern, Waco, Temple, Dallas area than it does here.
I guess I meant Texas,
It's
just
kind of
like in
like the
general.
same thing when we used to have storms that used to come down to Corpus and look like it was going to
Yeah.
get pouring and lightning and raining, and then it would just fizzle out because of the winds. Same thing. It's just, but you got bigger systems.
And is that why we were talking about insurance companies? Is that why a lot of these big insurance companies have kind of left Texas? Is because of all of the storms that we have here?
Oh, I think there's a lot of different reasons for it.
Yeah, I mean, just like California, Texas, Florida, the worst weather that you have in the U.S. basically with storms. So you get earthquakes, then you
Yeah.
have hurricanes, and then we've got got hail and hurricanes here.
If there was one thing you could change about you dealing with the insurance company or homeowners dealing with their insurance company, you think there's a better process instead of just like constantly fighting? I mean, you're paying your premium every month, right? And some people have paid their premium for 20, 30 years and have never had a claim, and then they make this one claim and you like, oh man, there's obvious damage, whatever it is, water damage, whatever it is, because you're even on the construction side, and these insurance companies are fighting back. So what kind of change would you like to see in the industry?
I mean, that's a hard answer, just because let's go back a year and some change. Palisades fire in California.
Yeah.
And how many policies were denied immediately?
That's insane.
So if you take that in consideration, obvious fire torched everybody, and they're still denying it. And State Farm is one of the biggest ones.
Act of God, right? Is what they're saying.
Right. So State Farm's here, and I'm sorry about that, but it's obvious.
I mean, is that what they're saying? Act of God? Because anything could be. A hailstorm's an act of God. A flood's an act of God.
Yeah,
I mean,
not
a
covered.
pipe breaking is an act of God. I mean, it's like.
Yeah.
Everything.
I think that there's got to be a better system as far as the adjusters that are going out there and looking at it. If it were to be a third party on everybody and everybody were to get paid on it, there's a difference.
Yeah.
So then the adjusters are going to write up the damage, and some of those adjusters are paid, and they whenever storms come and they have adjusters that are coming from all over the U.S. to come to a storm, they're actually going to write up as much as they can, because they're going to get paid on it. That's the difference of being a direct contractor of State Farm locally or Allstate or whatever insurance companies, and then versus actually working for the company as an employee.
Yeah. So as a homeowner that doesn't really understand that process very well, what's the biggest mistake you see people making when their roof has damage or they think it might have damage?
Not calling Black Slate roofing.
So the number one thing is letting it go too long.
Oh.
Okay.
So because the policies are typically 1 year, some of them go to 2, but that's getting shorter and shorter.
Right.
And so, for instance, we had a storm that came through here at the May 26th, 25, and we're coming up on that date.
Yeah.
So we're anything that's any claim that needs to be pulled on that date really needs to happen immediately.
Okay.
So, and of course, insurance companies don't like it. They're like, okay, well, you're claiming a date that's coming up at the last minute. That's convenient for you. I was like, well, it's convenient for the client because people are busy and they don't think about their roof. And we haven't had any rain. And now that we're having a ton of rain, they're having leaks.
Right.
So we're going back to the last storm date, and we're picking it out. We're seeing the damage. We're seeing what's penetrating their roof systems and getting into their house. So that's what we're here for.
There you go.
What's the craziest thing when you've been up on a roof that you have found that wasn't supposed to be up on a roof?
Wow. I don't know if there's as much crazy on the roofs as it is find inside people's homes.
Well, that was one of my questions. You've been doing a remodel. What's the wildest thing you've seen when you've been doing a remodel?
The duct tape special?
Yeah. Oh, God. Can I say this online?
Yes, you can. You can say whatever.
Just don't say their names.
So running across just people not putting up their personal.
Oh, we've done.
Their personal things that they like to play with,
their toys.
Yeah, running across those and a set of them and open closets and like almost displaying them like, hey, if this thing works out, maybe y'all want to come in here. Who knows? But
Black Slate playthings coming to a town near you.
That leads to my next question. What's the one smell in a house that should concern people? If you walk in and you smell this and you're like, oh yeah, okay.
Sewer smell backed up, and that's probably, anytime you get a septic system backed up or something like that.
And people just ignore it?
People get used to it.
Oh.
So.
It was funny. Steve and I.
That's true. That happens. You only notice when there's a change in smell, your body adjusts. We talked about that.
Remember when we walked into a client's house that they
just
bought this house.
That story, but I know
we're not gonna tell them, but we're not gonna say the name. But we walked in and I was like, "That is gas." No. It's like
it's something in the air conditioning. They just cleaned the air conditioning, and we were both like, "No, pretty sure that's gas." And they was like, "No." And I said, "Well, just call the gas company, just to be safe." safe, and they came out and had a giant gas leak in their air conditioning.
But you're right. They probably just got used to the
They
smell.
did. They got used to
and
it. But you and I walked in there, and we were both nauseous.
We
in
were.
about 10 minutes. Yeah, that was bad. What's the when you're in the construction side of things? What's the one maintenance thing that people seem to put off longer than just about anything else that becomes an issue?
Let's say maintenance. Roof maintenance is something that needs to happen.
Yeah.
So
like trees and stuff like that hanging over. And
trees that drag on your roof system will cause all kinds of holes, and then you're going to get water in. Also, believe it or not, it doesn't matter. If you've got which right now there's some warranties that are lifetime warranties. It doesn't matter. You still have penetrations, whether it's ventilation or bathroom ducts or laundry penetrations to the roof. They're still sealed and caulked. That is going to break with the Texas sun and the heat.
So you're talking about like the vents.
Yeah. So you need to. How often does somebody need to get somebody over there to do routine maintenance on that stuff?
I mean, if you're waiting more than 10 years, it's going to be broken.
Yeah.
So I mean, hands down, there's no way that the caulk in this in the Texas heat is going to be able to handle it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's metal or not.
What about on metal? If it is a
metal
metal roof,
roofs.
there's still you
still have your boots on top, and those
Okay.
boots are still made from rubber, which still has sealant on.
Okay.
What's the thing that the rivets that you had done on your metal roof? Was it the rivets or something? I don't know. You had somebody go
No,
up
we
there.
had a house that my roofs are standing seams, so they don't have that problem. But the old screw down roofs, those
Right.
screws, the little rubber grommets break down after a while, so you have to have somebody go up there and either replace the screws or tighten them every like 5 years or something, right?
Yeah, they're petroleum based. Same thing. They break down in the sun. So
Yeah.
whenever they break down, they get harder, and so they start shrinking.
Oh.
Whenever they start shrinking, that screw gets a little bit of space between that panel. And once that panel starts moving with heat and cold and fluctuates, then it starts making more of an area for the water to be able to come out. And then
okay.
their roof system
And
starts
then,
getting leaks.
and then leaking. I just had I was telling Steve, I had my expansion joints just replaced on my sidewalk and my entire driveway because the wood was just totally disintegrated. And I've been on enough inspections, and one of our inspectors, which I love this guy, Brian Stackhouse, I was asking him about it, and I've been seeing it over and over on these inspections. He's like, just get it done. It's going to become a big problem later. And we've seen, the sidewalks kind of buckle and the because when they disintegrate, right, the water will now get in and it'll make that concrete unstable.
Yeah, it starts to settle and then you get cracks. And
so that's what we're trying to do. So if you had to look at like a checklist for a homeowner and say, okay, what would you wish your ideal homeowner would do aside from owning a construction company, doing remodeling, and aside from the roofing? If a homeowner went through their house, would it be every 6 months, every year, and just kind of check the exterior, interior?
Yeah. So by the way, Brian Stackhouse is the man. Love the guy.
Yeah. He's
awesome.
great.
I really enjoy working with him. I think as far as the exterior goes, trees hitting the roof line, gutters being full, putting a lot of pressure on the fascia.
Oh.
And just getting all your penetrations resealed.
So it's not just about leaves being in the gutter and not being able to drain. It's the weight.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, because it gets heavy.
Yeah, add a bunch
you
of water in there and
scoop out
bunch of
your
leaves.
you scoop that stuff out and put it in a 5-gallon bucket. That thing will weigh 50 pounds.
And
We
then
have
start
gutter
putting
guards.
granule loss coming
Yeah,
off
yeah.
the roof slopes also.
Yeah,
Do you have gutter guards on yours?
I do, but they don't work.
You don't think so? Really? Okay.
Yeah, they're not fantastic.
No, I don't think. I think even the most expensive ones, they still. Just
We have
work
the ones we
okay.
can take out because we've got those
Yeah.
live oaks that drop like 14
Yeah.
times during the year. It's like the little acorns, the leaves, whatever else. Okay, so that's the interior, right? You're looking at the leaves. What about
The
exterior? What
yeah.
about the interior?
I think the interior one that we find, hands down, the most problematic is going to be your HVAC system. So, and it's not, changing out your filters, getting all the dust and grime and everything in the system, but also bleaching out your, drains itself.
Oh,
So
yeah.
whenever they
Bleach.
backed up, then it's backed up, it's coming into your sheetrock, goes to the ceiling. It's always perfect. Whenever people are out of town, that's where it's going to break
Oh
down.
yeah.
And so, and then it hits the
such an
flooring.
Easy, yeah.
You hit one area of flooring. Next thing you know, all your wood flooring is continuously the first
Yeah.
floor, and it's damaged. You can't replace just those parts.
So and your 75 cents worth of bleach that you could have poured down the drain before you left. you wish you'd have done that. That's
Exactly.
famous regrets.
Are you the newer homes that we've seen, that Steve and I have a lot of seen, the AC filter, we can change ours downstairs, but all the new AC filters seem to be in the attic. They seem to be harder to access.
Well, yeah. The other thing, though, a lot of new homes have the solenoid or whatever in the pan, so if the pan starts to get water, it shuts the AC off.
Right.
Yeah, that's a pretty cheap. If it's an upgrade when you get your system, that's a pretty cheap upgrade to save yourself headache in the future.
What about your hot water system? Are you draining your hot water system?
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah, I
lies.
do it every
You
6
lies.
months. Yeah, like clockwork.
You lie.
My water heater's 10 years old and I've never done it. Do you do yours, Hunter?
No, I just replace them.
Yeah.
So
I make Todd do it, and he cusses
Where
and yells.
is your water heater?
We have two of them. We have one upstairs,
Oh,
and then we
God.
have one downstairs. But it's only because it's a pain in the butt.
I would,
when-
if it was in the garage or in a closet downstairs, I'd probably do it. Mine's in the attic.
But
so-
you have such hard water, Steve. Like, you're on the Dripping
Oh, I
Springs water.
know,
You should
I
probably do
know.
it.
The thing is that there's so much lime in the water here, and it gets at the bottom of these tanks, and you can drain it, but it doesn't drain out the lime.
Yeah.
So it's literally, regular 40-gallon tank. Imagine about a foot and a half of that is going to be lime just caked at the bottom.
Just
You can't get it
sediment,
out. Even if you
yeah.
drain it out, it's not going to come out.
Right. It
It's-
just sits
it's-
there.
it's-
Yeah. I know. We had the heating element replaced, and when he pulled it out, man, it was just all crusty and white, and it was. I'm surprised it worked at all.
Ew, you were brushing your teeth in that.
Yeah, that's right. And what you don't know can't hurt you. If somebody came to you, Hunter, and said, "Look, we want to do some improvements around our house. We got about 25 grand. What should we do?" What would you tell them?
It depends on what their house looks like.
You
know.
say call Michelle and Steve, and they'll
Right.
walk through and they'll tell you
Are
what
you guys
to do.
selling your house
yeah.
or not?
Yeah.
Honestly, $25,000 unfortunately doesn't get you very far these
Isn't that
days.
funny? Yeah.
So I think that's probably more like let's paint as much as we can with 25,000.
I can
and
make
some-
$25,000 go a long
Yeah.
way.
Do you want to talk about your house?
Yeah.
We won't
No,
go back there.
No,
we're still
we're
in
not
an
doing that.
insurance claim.
Yeah.
We're still in an insurance
Anybody
claim.
listening knows that whole story. So paint and what else?
I think paint. You can change out some hardware stuff in kitchens.
Yeah.
But without changing out countertops and cabinetry and flooring and stuff like
Yeah.
that, it's really in a regular size house. Let's just say a base of a 2,000 square foot house, you can't really do a whole lot with 25
Wow,
grand.
that's amazing.
So-
What about somebody said, "Look, we want to do redo the primary bath, and it's a 2,000 square foot house." I don't know, what is that? 150 square foot bathroom. What does that cost?
Most of
typically?
those are most of them are around 200 square feet, 300
Yeah.
square feet, and they range from about 20 to 40.
Okay, all right,
So-
that's about what I thought. Yeah. And
For a
kitchen-
bathroom?
Yeah, and kitchen remodels are maybe twice that.
They're getting up there pretty quick. It just depends on what you're going to do, like the red car deal.
Yeah, no, I know.
You
yeah.
can't replace a kitchen with anything that's custom for less than 50,000.
Yeah.
And that's a 1,500 square, home
Yeah.
at that point. They're just too expensive these days.
It's crazy how expensive it's.
Unless
gotten.
you go to Michelle's sketchy
Yeah.
cabinet guy.
Yeah, you find the wildest stuff. And then when she did her kitchen remodel, she sold her old cabinets and sold.
I know
her
Hunter
old
was laughing at
countertops
me.
and,
I would sell. I know Todd was like, "You're never gonna sell this." I was like, "Watch me." I even sold my old flooring. I
That's so
sold
crazy.
all the old stuff. So what is, when you're looking at like a remodel or something like that? Do you guys also do smaller jobs, not just entire remodel, like a handyman service? Because what we are discovering is that a lot of people, instead of selling their home, which is
Yeah.
great, they're wanting to stay and enjoy their home. We discover that when we're doing our pre-stage walkthrough, that and we zhuzh it all up and we get it painted, they're like, "Oh, I actually it recently just happened to us. We got the house all ready," and she's like, "Oh, I actually love the house again.
Yeah.
I think I want to stay." But finding just somebody that will just do, change out a faucet or replace the seal on the toilet. Why is it so hard to find just a handyman that will do some of these little
It's-
small jobs
it's
or
really
replace a
difficult.
step?
Yeah, because the handyman want to stay busy. They want to spend more time going to the store and being on the road than they want to be on the job site. period. And that's very easily, that can very easily happen. So like, okay, let's get a faucet. Well, this is the one I want. Can you mind go picking it up? So drive 10, 15 minutes to the store, spend 10 minutes at the store, 10, 15 minutes to the client's house, and then you're only at the client's house for 30 minutes. You've literally spent twice as much time in logistics before even doing the job.
If somebody calls you and they have a project and it's, it's more of a handyman type thing, what's the sort of barrier for you for somebody to hire you?
That's a good question.
So that's a slippery slope. Just because, let me just kind of, whenever I'm working with a lot of realtors and stuff like that, and they're going through the inspection periods, whether they're buyer and seller side of it, that's where, we do a lot of the small things just to try to get those contracts to go through on both. It helps both, because if the buyer's saying, hey, I want all these things done, and the seller's like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm like, look, this is what it's going to take. We can just, bang out this punch list real quick, get it done. You guys can all be happy. So, and we do a lot of small things whenever that's happening. But in general, we're also trying to get ourselves back in front of those, prospective clients to be able to do bigger jobs.
It's almost like a loss leader. It's like, hey, we'll take care of you up front. Just give us a chance down the road when you have something bigger to do. Yeah.
Talk about the not just the down in the dirt side, the marketing side, the business side of your business. Is that something that you didn't really expect when you decided to kind of, because you have two separate companies, Black Slate Construction, Black Slate Roofing, and we were doing all of our advertising stuff. You can't merge the two of those because, it's a logistical nightmare through the Secretary of State and all this, because there's like two separate entities. How much of that was like kind of you learning on the job? You're like, holy heck, I'm also a business owner, but you want to get your hands dirty too.
So I started off on my hands and knees. So I was doing the work. So that literally started from teaching myself to being able to hire a guy to help me out, and then just anybody that would hire me, friends and family and stuff like that. And that became to the point where I was like, I need some help. Let's get some, and then I would bring on some more just guys that had a lot more knowledge than I did. And that's where I would learn. And so I actually, would learn from people that I hired. And I went through each trade. And this was, back in 2010 before I started my company, in 2012, and went through a lot of different scenarios where I was hiring other people to come do things. And I would learn from the way
on
the
the job
do's
training.
and don'ts
Yeah.
on job training, literally on my hands and knees. So.
But then, like your bookkeeping side, you're filing your taxes, your social media posts and stuff like that. Are you now outsourcing that? Because are you still doing it?
Yeah.
Still done in house, but we have the majority of our business is referral business, which is great.
Yes.
And it's the best kind of business as far as I'm concerned. I mean,
Same with us.
Everybody knows something about you. I'm like, whatever it's going on, and no matter what, if you hire me, I'm not going to be the guy that runs and takes your money. I'm like, if we do a bad job, at any point we do something that messes up something, we're 100% going to fix it. I'm a neighbor, and I'm only 10 minutes away no matter where we're at. So
That's
you're a
huge,
stand-up
Hunter.
guy.
Yeah, because we hear these horror stories all the time, and just knowing that you guys are local and based here, and you might run into you at H-E-B.
I'm going through it with a client right now. They are literally got snaked for $130,000. And the contractor walked and left them with a mess, and their house was pretty much unlivable.
It's like
so we're almost done with them. About 6 weeks later, we're almost done knocking out. We should be done today or tomorrow. They have their house back.
Yeah, it's insult to injury, because not only do they take the money, but they leave a mess. It's one thing if they take the money and your house is still there, but you can't. A lot of times they rip out things. The house isn't even livable. The kitchen doesn't even work, and they're gone. So now you got to pay somebody else to come fix it, like you.
Right.
It's scary stuff.
How are you recommending if someone comes to you and you're in, let's say, new kitchen, right? They want to update the kitchen, and it's going to be, let's just throw out a number, $50,000, right? $50,000 for a new kitchen. That's with appliances and flooring and XYZ. And they're like, okay, this is what I want to do. How do I get the money? How are you helping them direct them to somebody to get that, take out a HELOC, whatever it is? Or
I've got guys that I can send them to if they're not real bank friendly and they're not used to it. But we also have other finance options too. Just depends on where they're at with their credit and mortgage and stuff like that.
So it's kind of like it's not necessarily in-house financing, but you have people that you've partnered with that will be.
It's easier to do to do financing for a roof than it is for a huge project, because the banks are willing to do 0 to 6 months or 0 to 12 months with no interest or payments, but then the interest kicks in pretty heavy on that 13th month.
I think South Star Bank
But
has some
this also
programs.
helps out, people that are trying to put their house in the market and saying, look, we know that we need at least $60,000 or $80,000 to make this house even look presentable, to make it look nice and put it on the market, and we're going to get $200,000 back if we make this decision. So that's, we have different companies that we work with.
Yeah, we see people a lot over the years that if you're spending 80 grand and netting or getting $200,000 more in the sale price, that's huge. And we see people all the time that just trade dollars. They spend 25 grand and they get maybe an extra $20,000 or $25,000. So what's the kind of stuff in that scenario? You're saying $80,000. What's the kind of stuff you focus on in those projects?
Well, interesting. So I was talking to another realtor this morning on another Circle C project, and they basically they have a client that's had some medical issues and like lots of surgeries over the last few years, which is really kind of hurt them financially. They also have a family member that's in grade school that has been bullied, so they want to move out of the area. And they make decent money, but they're fighting all these things, and they just kind of want to get out of the area completely. Well, in the meantime, like, the house looks beat up really bad on the inside, so we've got to paint everything: cabinets, flooring, or not flooring, cabinets, walls, ceilings, all the trim. The trim work is just in really bad condition. So that being said, their roof is in such bad condition, you can see holes through the roof all around the face.
Oh,
I mean, it's just, there's rot really bad on the outside.
It's beyond deferred maintenance.
So, there's $100,000 worth of work to do on the house, and so we're trying to help them out with the finance part, where they can come in here and be able to finance the whole thing, get the house sold, and alleviate the situation that they're in right now.
Yeah, and what most people don't know is if it needs $100,000 of the work, the people are going to make you offers $200,000 discounted, because that's the way people do math in their head. They're like, well, I got to spend 100 grand, and then I got to take time off work, and then I got to go meet these contractors, and so I'm not going to mess with that unless I can make a little profit on it. And so you're not only is it the house can be discounted by the amount you put into it, but it'll be discounted over and above that. We run into that all the time.
We're also seeing too that when we get a house under contract and back to the insurance companies, and they're saying, okay, the roof is over 10 years old, and so you have this like misnomer? What is the word? The perception that just because it was a 20-year roof in Texas, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a 20-year roof, and insurance companies are not insuring those
that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up, Michelle. Hunter, you put a 30-year shingle roof on there. Doesn't mean it's going to last 30 years.
No, it's at 30 years typically. They're going to get the end of the life at 20 years.
Yeah,
so.
and a 20-year roof, you might get 10.
Yeah, they're getting rid of. Hopefully, they'll be getting rid of the 3-tab shingles altogether in the next couple of years.
Oh, is that right?
Hopefully.
If you could choose a shingle roof over a standing seam metal roof, or whatever else is out there, what is it? The clay tiles. What's your favorite long-lasting? If money was no object, and you wouldn't have to worry about shingle loss or whatever it is, what would you like to put on?
So I get multiple answers to that question.
Okay.
So I just put a new roof on my own house this past year. And
do you know somebody? Is that
I know somebody.
It's all different colors. It's all.
So funny enough, I'm frugal in the situation that where when I bought the house, it had a brand new roof on it within 2 years. I hated the color, and that drove me nuts. And it's driven me nuts for almost a decade, just shy of like 6 months of a decade. And so I finally bit the bullet and changed the roof, even though I was just like, okay, I've gotten hit with hail so many times, it's still not going to do it. But I just added a garage to my property, so I was just like, I'm going to make it all new at the same time. That drove me crazy. But still, with insurance policies, depending on if you have a metal exclusion in your policy, if you get hit with hail and it doesn't damage the decking underneath, or it's not structurally damaged, they're not going to replace your roof. So standing seam is beautiful until it's hammered.
Yeah.
And when it's hammered and they won't replace it because the structure underneath is not failing, then you're stuck with a roof that looks like it was beat up in a war.
Like somebody
and
hit it with a
there's nothing you can do
hammer.
about it 'cause the insurance
It
is
looks
gonna
like
cover
Tommy
it.
Lee Jones.
Right, and considering this, considering where we're at and everything else, and weigh the options, I get it less expensive. It's still expensive for me.
Really?
So there's nothing cheap about construction at all. Roofing side, construction side, I still pay through the nose just like everybody else. I just get a little percentage difference.
Yeah. I want to circle back to, you said they're doing away with the 3-tab shingles. what is? I don't even know what that means.
So the architectural is like the 30, where you see them overlapping. Those
Okay.
are stronger and heavier shingles.
Okay.
3-tab looks like teeth, just
Oh,
1, 2, 3.
okay,
and they're
okay.
Very, yeah. So
Okay.
they just don't last that long. They typically have a 10-year life on them.
Okay.
So
And
when
you-
they got rid of the 20-year altogether, it's 25 now, which still
Okay.
is about 10.
Okay.
So they're just
And you don't use those. You use all the.
even if somebody
Which one's 3-tab?
the second one on the from the middle to the right. 3-tab. I guess all those are, but this one's the one that just caught up to me.
That one.
This one.
One over to your right. That one.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. I know what
So
you're talking
they're,
about.
They're thinner. They don't have the same
Yeah.
same weight on them. So wind, like tonight, we're supposed to have a big storm at 10 o'clock tonight, and we have up to 60 miles an hour winds that are supposed to come, like straight winds that are going to come through our
Oh, wow.
from our area. That shingle right there can lift from the wind, which is going to crack that shingle underneath. People don't see the damage until the water's coming in, but it's actually broken underneath.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Things you don't know about
Yeah.
roofing.
Oh, I know. I've learned a lot about roofing from Hunter
So-
and Paul Guerrero.
Well, let me
from
bring
Allstate.
back one thing. So you go back one picture there for a second. It's funny because the metal roofs were the worst performing, I feel, during Hurricane Harvey.
Harvey.
Okay.
Because we were down there Hurricane Harvey,
So they would lift.
and they peeled back like a sardine can.
Really?
Literally, when you get one corner, one screw that fails, and the whole system, and they just start rolling back.
Oh,
Huh.
wow.
So tiles were pretty bad whenever they got, even though tile roofs are a little bit heavier, they're still cups. So whenever that wind hits that cup, it would literally pick it up because you only got nails on the back side of it. That's
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
it's all built on the
It's like
weight
a
of the
big
tile
lever,
and having
yeah.
a couple nails on top of it that fasten it in. So once those start coming up, it's winds like picking up cups. It's literally happening pretty fast. So a 30-year shingle it did a lot better job during a hurricane, and so I pretty much stuck by that after seeing that much disaster.
Really?
Yeah. But in the case of the standing seam metal roofs, if it rolled up like that, that would be covered by an insurance.
Yeah,
claim.
you would
but
for sure.
Still, yeah,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. You mentioned a second ago we were talking about business, and you said social media is in house. What's your social media? Do you love it or hate it?
I can't stand it
He
personally.
hates it.
Yeah, I can't stand it.
Look at him. He hates
Everybody wants it, and I get it. They all want to see pictures, and I understand that part of it. I'm just a little more old school.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, now we've got Instagram and Facebook and all that
Is
stuff.
Megan handling most of that?
She's handling as much as she can right now.
Yeah.
We're busy with
it. It is.
business instead
That's
of
the
dealing
thing.
with,
That's like
That's
us.
us,
So
too.
we get, people are like, when I'm starting to see other agents and their social media is like they're posting every single day. Either one, they've hired somebody to do it and they're spending
And it's
gobs
real
of money to do
generic,
it.
yeah.
And like you're gonna see the same post with somebody else down the street. But when our business is rocking and a rolling, like I have to really sit and think, okay, I gotta post today, but because I'm in the business of doing business.
And it's like a check the box thing. Oh, I got to do a reel today. Check the box. Okay. now
Social
give me one.
media makes sense for the construction business and for the roofing business more whenever it
Yeah.
That's right.
more whenever it is slow times, which is like basically between, for the roofing business,
Yeah.
definitely between November and February in that area. People, they're in the holidays, they don't want to deal with any extra expense, especially with something that they'd much rather spend money on the interior of their house than on top of their house by
Yeah.
far.
You're also doing pools too.
No.
I brought that up.
Delete
large-
that comment.
that large
I
pool
could
that you
build
did.
No
pools
pool.
and I could
Yeah.
build them,
Black
that's
Slate
great.
Construction does
Yeah.
no pools.
I'm not pursuing that at all.
Yeah.
I knew he did a pool and it was like ginormous,
Yeah.
a ginormous pool.
Live and learn.
Yeah.
What's one thing you think most people don't understand about what you do?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what I've been really enjoying and getting into the last few years is just building ADUs out in like the people that have acreages out here and incorporating that with their houses because I love designing. I love being able to talk with them about all the different things we can do with their property because I always, whenever we're walking on somebody's property, I walk into it like if this was mine.
Oh,
And,
that's cool.
Yeah. and
Are
that-
you seeing more multi-generational, like more and more people are trying to accommodate mom and dad? Because I think that our Gen X, millennial type, we're kind of in this sandwich generation where mom and dad, things are getting expensive and needing to move in.
It's
So
happening a lot out here.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's happening just about everywhere. It's a common.
I think COVID kind of set off a lot of things too,
Uh-huh.
because people were just like, well, in the event something happens again, how can we lock down better?
yeah.
So
Well,
all be together.
how would you handle something like that in a subdivision neighborhood like a High Point, Belterra, Headwater, something like that, where they're really kind of landlocked and are you looking into access over the garage, access over like
you'd
how
be
are you doing it?
surprised how much wasted space are in people's attics, and especially with these really steep pitched roofs, there's typically a good space for another living room area in their attic.
Really?
So we have to reconfigure some of their electrical, reconfigure the structure a little bit, and just get some air conditioning up there. It just depends whether or not they want to put like another bathroom and stuff up there, but we can typically tie into all the plumbing too, which makes it a little bit less expensive.
And you see that more in single story or two-story house?
No, it's really it doesn't make a difference. It's
Okay.
mostly whatever one's got the steepest pitch is going to have the most amount of square footage.
Okay.
Height wise.
Yeah, I know Belterra has a lot of those steep pitch roofs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you put in, are you seeing, because of the older clientele, if they're moving into their daughter's house or, son's house, something like that, and they're upstairs, are you seeing, is there a modified version of the stair chair?
The elevator.
You know what I mean?
The
Yeah.
stair
Yeah.
elevator.
No, I think a lot of people are getting their parents ready to move on to their properties more out in Dripping Springs area in general, and trying to keep their kids closer also from not moving away too quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would think more people, if they have a two-story house and they have to have somebody that moves in and they can't get them upstairs, they sell the house and go buy something
Yeah,
else.
and there's a lot of businesses that people are putting on their properties too. Done a lot of different podcast build outs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course, we're the best.
Recording
Yeah.
studio.
We're
I
the
should
best
say.
ones.
It's more of a recording studio,
Yeah.
but
How'd we do? How do you
Yeah.
think we did in here?
it's good. It's comfy. I like it.
Yeah. Have you built out some recording studios?
I have worked on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Do you? What do you think's the wildest thing somebody's asked you to do over the years?
An S&M room?
Yeah.
Wow.
A gun room?
She went right there, Hunter. She just went
S&M,
right there.
S&M gun room? Like, yeah. It's
Okay, so
The hidden
my first house that I
sex
built.
room?
My first house that I built was out in Driftwood, and it was a birdhouse. So
Birdhouse?
literally built, and it was small. It was like 700 square feet, and built a slab. It was regular from stick framing, and we had a metal roof on it. Had air conditioning. Had one room that was built all with plumbing and everything else, and it was air conditioned. Had one room for them to be able to bring their birds into there, to be able to clean them, wash them, and then bring them back into the bird room with the rest of the birds in their cages, and have it all drained off. And both rooms had
a cleaning and
drains,
washing
so-
room for
Wow.
birds?
yeah. So that was I was like, whatever I got to do to build my first house.
Yeah.
And that was my first.
Okay,
house.
if you
Wow.
ever
So-
get asked to build a monkey room, please let me be
That's
involved in
What-
the monkey
Yeah.
room.
What about safe rooms? Do you ever get requests to build those?
Yeah, we just did. So we did one in the kind of middle of Drip this past year. We did an additional 1,800 square feet onto their. I guess
Wow.
they were around 2,700 square feet existing.
Uh huh.
And so we added a huge, a pretty good sized gym, and like I want to say 700 square feet of a play area for their kids,
Uh-huh.
which was enormous. And then they did a media room, but it was also their safe room, so we double walled everything.
Okay.
So, and it was thick, and it was just like, okay, and this is our room in case a tornado comes, and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, it's the safest place in the home by far. There's no windows in there.
Yeah.
And the walls are 12 inches thick, but
Yeah.
a tornado's still gonna take it down.
Yeah,
So,
I know. Stick
I mean,
built
if
house.
it's
yeah.
gonna hit you directly, it doesn't matter. But end up being a solid build.
Yeah.
So.
Have you ever done one where it's not about tornadoes? It's more about protecting.
Prepping?
Yeah, like prepping.
Preppers.
Like, yeah, I need one with some gun ports. Can you do one with
Right.
it?
No,
Yeah.
not yet, but
I'm sure it's in the works.
Yeah.
Well, Hunter could do it. If
Hunter could do
yeah,
it.
Hunter, how do people find you guys?
like I said, I think a lot of it's word of mouth still, and it's been like that since day one. So, I just think relationships are important to get to know people, to get to know you, and once you do the work, people are typically
Yeah.
happy as all hell. So, and then they just you know, get passed on from neighbor to neighbor, friend to friend, family to family.
Yeah, well, it was one of the reasons we wanted to have you as a sponsor is because you have a great reputation here in the town, and that's part of. We don't like to just sponsor people that just because they have money. We want to be associated with people that do good work and are good quality people. So.
And I should always say you should have called Hunter first.
Right.
Yeah,
It's like yesterday. We took we did a demo on a new remodel, and the cabinets were perfectly fine. They just want everything to be modern and updated. And so we took that down, took out all the cabinets and brought it to Dripping Springs Methodist Church, and so which works with Dripping Springs hometown mission.
Hometown missions.
And
yeah.
so just got that all in their storage yesterday, and that will be repurposed on somebody else's that that can't afford new cabinets in their homes.
What a jerk I am! I could have given my cabinets to.
I was thinking this while you were like charging back to your floors,
What
your
a
cabinets. I'm like,
shithead I am.
well,
I
there's
tell
a
you.
hometown mission.
You know what? Well, you can go to
Jeez, Michelle.
blackslateconstruction.com and blackslateroofing.com. I have to tell you, Hunter, from my personal experience with you, you are the most honest. You have such integrity in just dealing with you personally. You helped me out, just like even kind of talking me down off the roof, so to speak. No pun intended.
Bless you, Hunter.
Bless your heart. But yeah, I highly recommend you, and we recommend you to our clients, and we just, I mean, you're dealing with a client of ours right now, and you guys are, you wear kid gloves when you talk to some of our older clients, which I really appreciate, but you guys are honest, and that's just really a rarity in this business.
It really is, but I want to thank you for spending this time with us today, and I've really got to enjoy you or enjoy you. And enjoy this
did
time.
you, Steve?
It was the sex room. No. All right, you got me messed up.
Get off Hunter's lap. Why are you sitting on Hunter's lap?
Yeah.
Awkward.
You told me you do 400 push-ups a day. That's where I was going with this. 400 push-ups.
He's
a day.
saying your arms. He says your arms look really strong, Hunter.
No. Do you really? You do 400 push-ups a day?
3 to 4, but yeah, 3 is a base.
Where did that start?
So I dropped the weights about 2 years ago and just started doing my push-ups in the morning instead. It just could be easier. I'm gonna be 50 next month, so it'll be easier on the joints and everything else. So I just it was to just keep the high reps and.
Do you knock them all out at one time? You knock them out like
100 at a time. It only takes a few minutes.
Come on, Michelle, how many can you do?
Did you see me under the desk earlier trying to plug in my computer? I got goosed by the microphone.
Goosed by the microphone.
That Hunter is now using.
Steve, hold my hand. I can't get up. Help me. I can't get up. I've fallen and I can't get up.
I told him you wear a denim dress and you see how you do that.
Well, Hunter, thanks for being a sponsor, and I've enjoyed hearing your expertise today, and I think people should give you a call if they have any construction or roofing needs, because you're the guy here in town. You're the one that will take good care of them.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me out today, and thanks Michelle, too. I couldn't do it without my team. So at the end of the day, I appreciate everybody that works for us and the companies, and everybody kicks ass and takes names every day, and I appreciate that.
No, that's good. So. Yeah, you can tell. The way you guys handle your business, you can tell everybody cares about what they're doing. So.
Absolutely. And they're not just a commercial on Mallet and Michelle. We actually use them.
Yes, we do.
We use them.
As
we
much
recommend
as we
them.
can.
For sure.
You know what? And being in the real estate business, it's nice knowing that if I give your name to somebody, I know that you're going to be a good reflection of us. It's not, sometimes we'll hand off a vendor and we're not quite sure. And maybe they drop the ball, but I know you guys will follow through on it.
That's the thing about people don't really understand, is that a lot of times when we do pass on to that vendor, we've used them ourselves. So
we use the same HEB.
I know.
It's important to me because I'm going to run into my clients at some point too. A lot of times, and I'm just
true.
I want to see HEB, and I want them to be like, hey, instead of like, hey, where are you at? Give me my money back. It's like, hey, how are you doing? Good. How's the house? Fantastic.
He says that because during the summer, almost every Saturday morning, when I am in my bathing suit and a bathing suit cover, who do I run into? Hunter. Every single time. Saturday morning, I run into Hunter.
If you want to see Hunter, HEB on Saturday mornings,
you want to see Michelle in her bathing suit cover.
Oh, jeez. Well, Hunter, thanks for joining us, man. I really enjoyed kinds of things about him today.
Hunter was very nervous to be on here because I think he thought we were gonna
like
get him roast him
yeah.
like we do in real life.
Yeah, that's true. We do give him a lot of crap when we see him. But yeah, I mean, you could just tell he's an honest, trustworthy guy that I don't think would take advantage of anybody, and no matter what the circumstances, he's going to take good care of people.
He's
a
very
big part of the
soft-spoken.
community.
What do they say? Soft-spoken and carry a big stick?
Yes. Speak softly and carry a big stick.
That's what that's the name of our podcast. Maybe that's
Speak
look
softly.
at that.
Okay, there you go.
Look at that real
I'm writing
time.
it
You
down.
guys just saw how that works.
But yeah, if you need a roof or you need construction stuff, he's the guy to call. And if you don't need a roof, he'll just probably tell you. Nope,
He
You
will.
don't need a roof.
He will tell you
Yeah,
because
I know
he's
he will.
busy enough, and I think he's not. We were talking about it earlier. He's not an ambulance chaser.
No, he's
you know?
not the guy that's going to walk through a neighborhood and go, your roof just got hit with hail. You need a new roof. He's not going to be.
We're
that
also very lucky to be able to partner with him on the podcast. And you know what? He's 230, our episode. That means we have done at least a lot more. 230 hours I have sat with you with this microphone.
I think it's more like 300,
I think it is too.
325. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it? Aren't you supposed to do 10,000 hours though to be an expert? So we got like another 700 episodes to go.
I don't know, but if you include the prep time, right?
Oh, that's
so
true.
230, 246.
Yeah,
that's
I spend 3 or 4 hours every week getting ready for the podcast.
I spend about 2 minutes.
Well,
It
it
shows.
doesn't show, Michelle.
It
You
shows.
can't show.
It shows.
I was reading an article this week about this new trend. It's an interesting trend. It's fastest growing cities in the country in the United States are what they call the exurbs. Have you heard of that term, exurbs? It's cities right outside of some of the largest cities in the country. And
It's not a suburb. It's an
exurb. That's what they call it, exurb. Suburb would be these cities are just right on the edge of these large cities.
So are we an exurb, or
I
are
would
we?
think Dripping Springs is probably an exurb. Yeah, but of the top 8 fastest growing cities in the country, and they are 5 of the 8 of them are in Texas. So these 5, and 4 of them are in the Austin area. Georgetown, Leander, Kyle. I'm sorry, 3 of them are in the Austin area. And then Salina and Fulshire, Texas, which I had never heard of Fulshire.
I looked Fulshire up because you told me that. Do you know that Austin, just for the first time, hit over 1 million people?
It did, yeah.
And I think, are we number 6?
I think we're in the top 12 now. I don't think we're in the top 6. But so Fulshire, which is west of Houston, since 2014, the housing inventory there has increased almost 400%. And the population, we were just looking this up, the population since 2003 went from like 2,300 to, what was it, 64,000 people?
Was that the Salina, or is
No,
that the
no,
Fulshire?
this is Fulshire. The other cities that are growing, Eagle Mountain, Utah. There's 2 of them in Utah, so Utah's on a tear too. Sarasota Springs, Utah. Never heard of that. And then Queen Creek, Arkansas, which I think is outside of I think it's southeast of Phoenix. All these cities are growing faster.
What?
Than southeast. So.
What was the country? The city you said?
You head towards Tucson and take a left.
I thought you said it was in Arkansas.
No, I said.
Oh, you said
Arizona.
Arkansas. Oh, you
Did
said
I say
yeah.
Arkansas?
You said Arkansas.
Queen Creek, Arizona.
Okay.
I think I did say Arkansas. But I was wondering. I was trying to figure this out, and I think populations of Austin has grown, but it isn't growing at near the percentages that these places outside of these big cities are growing. And I was trying to. I was thinking what would be causing that, and I think I know. A lot of these huge cities now, they're crime riddled. The taxes in Austin are insane. Mm-hmm. There's homelessness.
The permitting process.
The permitting process. If you want to do an addition to your house, or even just do a remodel or something, the permitting process. And so people are, they're fleeing these big cities to go to these small cities where people know each other a little bit more, and they're a little friendlier, and they're not taxing you to death. And we so far, knock on wood, we haven't had a homeless problem here in Dripping Springs. We have
I don't know.
Have we?
People have been talking about it on the neighbors page.
Surprise! The neighbors page has always got all the negative stuff first.
Actually, that's just Steve on his Saturday. He's not homeless, guys. He actually has.
You know what's funny? Saturday, we got a brand new backpacking tent, and Holly and I wanted to try it out. So Saturday afternoon, in the front yard of my house, when everybody was going to Time and Dough, we set up our tent and laid out there for about 10 minutes. Man, this is comfortable.
You guys are the ones.
And I said to Holly, we were laying there in the tent, and I turned over. I said, "Babe, everybody walking by right now thinks we're homeless and sleeping in the Mallett's front yard."
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah, there you go. You'll probably see that on
Well,
Neighbors
then
next
now
week. Did
now we
anybody know there was a homeless camp in downtown Dripping?
We know the culprit now. Yeah.
Yeah. The other part of that is when I was reading this article, I was thinking, are there any large cities that I would really want to live in? Like, could you think of one that you would think, oh, I'd like to live there?
You know, as much as people give Austin the grief, like I always see over and over, that's not really a Texas city, and that's this, that's that. You know what? I love living here, and I could live anywhere I want. My husband's job could afford us to live anywhere we want.
But
and
I mean, would you
here.
live like downtown Austin? Would you live by Zilker? Would you live in Terrytown?
I don't know. I like where I live
Oh,
right
I know. Me
now.
too.
I can tell you where I
couldn't
would
in
not
Austin.
live. I would not live in Houston.
Nope. Wouldn't live in Dallas.
I would not live in Dallas. I would never live in Corpus again.
Might live in San Antonio.
No, I've lived in San Antonio. I wouldn't live in San Antonio. The traffic in San Antonio is worse there. But
well, for me, Austin is like grandkids. It's like I can go there when I want, but I don't have to stay there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can enjoy your grandkids and have fun with them, but when they get cranky, you can get them back. Or
when you
can leave.
go out of Austin, when you travel and people say, "Where do you live?" What do you say?
It depends on the context, but I usually say Dripping Springs, Texas, and then they go, "Oh," and I go, "Yeah, it's outside of Austin."
I say the opposite. I say Austin. I said, "Well, I'll say Dripping Springs, but you probably wouldn't know where that is."
Yeah,
And so I say
think,
Austin.
Yeah, I always feel like when you say Dripping Springs, it makes them want to ask more. Like Dripping Springs, where is that?
It's like the greatest place on earth.
You know what? Did you see? Oh my gosh, the country artist that you just went to see,
George Strait.
George Strait just gave a shout out to Dripping Springs.
Yeah, it's in one of his songs.
Is it in his?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought he changed the words.
Well, I mean, he sings it all the time. Sometimes he doesn't, because your set list can only be so long, and so sometimes he doesn't sing that song.
But I agree. I do almost every day say, thank God for this little town that I live in. I really, really, really
absolutely.
like it.
And somebody asked me also about. Well, what do you think about Target coming in? Because it's going to be right by you. I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. I'm glad something like that is coming. I hope it doesn't change the landscape of Dripping Springs per se, but I'm tired of our tax dollars going into Travis County.
Austin, yep.
Let's keep them in here in Hayes County, and let's
'Cause
build
that
it's coming
tax
regardless.
stays in Hayes County.
And if I don't have to go through the Y&O Kill, even though they built it up, and I don't. And rumor has it that there may be a TJ Maxx coming, and what's the other one that you like?
We heard.
Well, I heard Academy.
Academy.
But what's the other one? The taco place you like? Taco Deli.
Taco Deli, and then did you say Lowe's was maybe scoping?
Lowe's
it out?
was scoping, and I do know that there's a new McDonald's and Starbucks
slated
site
for the front of Polo Club.
of Target.
Yeah, of Polo Club of Target. Yeah. Over there by the Polo Club.
But you know what? Hey, I like it. I think our population needs it, and with the new high school coming, and we're going to have a lot more people.
I mean, everything that's ever come here, when they announced HEB was coming, and everybody, wow, Super S is going to go away. Like, really? And when Home Depot came, we don't need a Home Depot.
Yeah, we do.
We got Ace Hardware, and we got the other one down the street, and no, they've all been great. And when CVS came there at the corner of Sawyer Ranch, people complained about that. We don't need a CVS out here, or Walgreens came. So, I mean, people are going to complain no matter what. And then as soon as Target's been there 6 months, nobody will complain.
I like Lowe's over Home Depot, but you know who is just like totally off topic-ish? HEB in Dripping Springs has the best plants of anybody around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You were saying that the other day.
They do.
You know what's funny is we can't shop at our I'm holding up air quotes, our HEB, which is the one here.
Why?
Because they don't have all the food that we like to
Well,
buy.
wait until they do the remodel, which
Well,
I thought was
they
going
need
to start
to.
happening.
There's a special kind of cream cheese we like. They don't
I
carry
like
here.
special
Special
kind of
kind of
cream
hummus. They don't have. There's special kind.
honey.
Yeah, a special kind of Ezekiel.
Special kind of meat.
But there's
Maybe you're the problem.
no, because they have it all at your HEB.
Maybe
So we
you
have to
are the
go
problem.
there. Yeah, I
Maybe
have
they
the
don't want you.
problem.
Maybe you walk in, they're like, boo, Steve. They don't
Hide all the good stuff. Steve and Holly are here. Put it in the back.
You know what HEB stopped selling, and I'm a little pissed off about it?
What did HEB stop selling?
Zapp's chips.
Oh, did they really?
Yes, I cannot find them anywhere. You have to go
They
get them at
have
Specs.
They have them at Time and Doe.
Well, yeah, but you can't get him a big old bag.
Oh,
at,
no, you were saying like the big bag.
yeah, the
Oh.
big bag. So okay.
Well, we need to have an inn at HEB so they start carrying the stuff
I know
that
they
we
need
like.
that. Yeah, well, maybe just a Mallet and Michelle. Bring in your suggestions
Ooh,
to
Mallet and Michelle potato chips.
Ooh, yeah. Wonder what that would taste like. Tastes like piss and
A little
vinegar.
bit salty, a little bit spicy.
Piss and vinegar. So there is a new reality TV show coming to the Hill Country.
Ooh.
I know you don't watch trash TV. I used to watch it a lot, the Real Housewives series,
Yeah.
which there was like Beverly Hills, Atlanta, New Jersey, which is like one of the best
I'd rather
ones.
walk on hot coals.
Actually, you know, when it first came on air, like the OC was really good. It was less scripted, and you
Yeah.
kind of got an insight into like the uber wealthy and whatever else. But this one touts too. They're raising their families, they're running ranches and farms, and they're managing their social calendars. And it is called Secret Lies and Texas Wives. And it is
Ooh.
out of, which is one of my favorite small towns in all of Texas, Bernie, Texas.
Really?
So here's a funny story. A petition has now been circulated. Even the city of Bernie is getting involved, and they said that they learned at the same time, the city of Bernie learned at the same time that it was actually announced. And their stance is we must take a stand against a misrepresentation of our beloved town. The culture and dignity of Bernie shouldn't become collateral damage in the quest for entertainment profits. So what they are afraid
Wow,
of
that's
is
quite a statement.
the media frenzy. It's going to invade privacy. It's going to affect tourism, which I actually think it's going to affect it in a positive way.
it
Just
would
kind of
totally
like
affect
the
it in a
Magnolia
positive way.
did, Chip
Yeah.
and Joanna did for Waco, and businesses. So there's a couple of people that they're rumored, they haven't officially announced the cast. There's a couple of women that they're saying could be. Erin Williams, she was on Big Brother season 15. She's a fifth generation Texan, and she's a mom vlogger. There's a lady by the name of, I'm going to butcher her name, Anari, I think is how you say it. She's a South African living in New Braunfels. So I don't know how they're pulling New Braunfels. You know these people, they don't realize how big Texas is.
No.
So I don't
That's
know.
True.
Allison McAnally, I think is how you say it. She's an influencer with 32,000 followers. And then a Gabby Huffman. Apparently she's also an influencer. She lives here in Austin, so apparently.
Do you think this is going to be like the Kardashians thing where they're all driving around their ranches in Rolls Royces with their fancy jewelry on?
I don't know. They're going to probably take little snippets. They're followed around by camera. One of the ones that is rumored. Now, I am a follower of hers. I've been a follower of hers for a long time. She's also a real estate agent. She lives in Bernie. This one makes the most sense to me, and you just mentioned her father-in-law. Tamara Straight.
Oh.
So that one makes a lot of sense, but I know that the Straights are very private, except for Tamara. Tamara's very social media forward, but hers is a lot about her real estate and you know, going to concerts and stuff. She never, in my opinion, she doesn't really tout the fact that her father-in-law is George Strait, but I really like her.
I kind of agree with Bernie. If this show makes it seem like everybody in Texas is like some uppity, overdressed, cosmetic surgery, filler.
No, you
like,
know what they're going to do?
hope-
They're going to say they're a bunch of right-wing crazies that live outside of.
outside
So
of Bernie,
here I was
with
thinking.
their guns and their Bibles.
Yeah, beer. So I was thinking if Dripping Springs had a reality show, who would be some of the people that we would pull in? Now, granted, these are just female. Sorry, the men
No
are
males?
no, the men are supporting characters. Okay, they truly are.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so my dream cast is Kristen Hafner. Okay, she's a
Yeah,
photographer.
yeah.
I love this woman. She is so sweet. She's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
She's a wonderful photographer. She's a great family woman. She
Uh-huh.
has boys, just like strapping boys. Alona Appleby.
Yes.
She owns Monkeys,
Yep.
and she's gorgeous.
Yep.
We've had her, both of these women we've had on the podcast. She's beautiful. Here's another dream duo that I have, Bonnie Walker and Holly Mills Gardner. They're sisters. They're a sister duo. Bonnie's been like a staple in Dripping Springs, grew up here. She's got that OG friend group.
Yeah.
Her sister Holly was in 1998. She was Miss Texas, and she was also in the top 5 for Miss USA.
Wow.
Actually, I've been trying to get Holly on the podcast.
Come on, Holly. Come
Holly
on
will
down.
be there. The other one I think is kind of an outlier, but I love her sass. She's not a Texan, but she's a New Jersey girl. We've also had her on the podcast. Is Orit Mann. I think she would be like the Teresa Giudice of the podcast. If you knew that, you would know who it is. I love Orit. She just kind of says it like it is. Yeah. And then, of course, you would have a podcaster on because I'd have to talk about everything. Imagine what I would say in the confessional section of it, because I'm the wild card, right? Like I'm not famous, I'm not rich, and I'm not really pretty, so I would just kind of round out all of the other ones.
I think your role would be everything would be going on in the background, and Michelle would come on scene and just start stirring the shit.
And then walk away.
Oh, are you really going to wear that to the party tonight? And what do you mean? Oh, I saw that post on your social media. Oh my gosh, girl.
Oh my goodness. So anyways, there's my dream cast right there for the Real Housewives or whatever it is of Dripping Springs. But we shall see. I'm gonna watch it. I'm just out of curiosity. I want to see what it is.
You'll have to fill me in on that because I'm not sure I'll even be able to spend 5 minutes on that.
Well, you don't even have basic cable anymore, Steve.
No, I don't. We just stream everything.
No,
so.
I have Russia TV, so I'll
that's right. You go, don't say that out loud.
Shh.
Gosh,
Oh
the,
no. Hashtag Russia
FCC
TV.
will come get you.
Yeah, well, good thing it's a podcast.
Yeah. Hey, we've been flying a lot. I know you just got back from Portland, and we just planned our trips out west in the last couple days, and we flew earlier this year. And I saw this is actually a quiz. Do you know how to behave on a flight? Take our quiz. And
it depends on who I'm flying with.
Well, yeah, okay. So Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is urging flyers to play nice in the skies, hoping to curb a rise in quote-unquote air rage.
By the way,
air rage in recent years.
Secretary Duffy and his wife met on a reality show.
Did they?
Yes, they did.
Gosh,
Just wanted to let you know that.
Well, he said we've seen an uptick in maybe a degradation of civility in the airspace. So this quiz is actually being put out by the Department of Transportation Department, and it's more like a quiz so that you think about things before you get on.
Is this the no pajamas on?
No.
Okay. I'm
going to give you I'm going to give you the A, B's, or C's, and there's 5 of them here. So
I'm ready.
don't answer until I give you the choices. Should you ever take your shoes off on a plane? A, why not? B, never. C, if I'm wearing socks, I might.
C.
So this is why it's not yes or no. 51% said B, never.
Well, I'm not walking to the bathroom.
In your bare feet.
Yeah.
I know, it's disgusting.
But if it's a long flight, like, my feet swell.
Yeah. Well, 5% of the people said why not. So 5% of the people, which is too much, are taking their shoes off on the plane. 43% agreed with you.
Okay.
That you might.
But if your feet stink, put your shoes back on.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly. Yes. Would you ever give up your aisle seat for a middle seat so a family can sit together?
Am I saying yes or no? Can I say?
Can
I have a caveat?
A, absolutely, I'll survive the discomfort. B, no way, missing out on an aisle seat is an important life lesson. Or C, it's a long flight, and yes, if they ask nicely, it's a long flight. That's kind of weird, but so C, if they ask nicely, you'd give it up.
I'm gonna say C, but I also have paid extra for that seat.
Yeah.
Now, I do understand that sometimes families get bumped and they don't have a choice, but if I'm not going to have a 4-year-old sit by themselves, but they better buy me a mimosa or something like that for the inconvenience.
For me...
and be nice about it.
Yeah. So A would be the one I would pick. Absolutely, I'll survive the discomfort because I've had kids on the flight, and I'll give it up. But, yeah, 42% said no way. I wouldn't give it up. Almost half said no way.
I'd say it depends on how you ask and the age of the child. I think there's a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I pass so far?
You have so far. There's not really pass or fail. It's more like just conversation.
There's all pass or fail for me.
Do you chat with your seat neighbor? A, if they chat with me, I'm happy to talk. B, I try not to. No one else wants to hear it. Or C, headphones be damned. I'm here to hang out.
Steve, how long have you known me? What do you think my answer is going to be?
I think you're A.
I'm pretty much.
If they chat with me, I'm happy to talk.
I have several people that I'm friends with on Instagram and Facebook that I have met on airplanes. Now it depends that if. Okay, you know what's funny? Todd is more of a chatter than I am, and let me tell you why. Because Todd is such a gentleman every single time. He is always helping people put their luggage up.
Yeah.
And I will put my headphones on, and I'm a window, and Todd's an aisle, and we'll have somebody in the middle.
Yeah. Holly will sit in the middle so I can sit and look.
No, we do that so that hopefully nobody sits in the middle.
Yeah, and then you get the seat.
But yeah, so Todd usually chats with them.
Yeah, I'm a B. I try not to. No one else wants to hear it. I'm happy to talk to people. I'm not antisocial, but if somebody sits down and they just are doing their own thing and reading a book, I'm happy to sit there quietly and do my own
I can
thing.
sit there quietly.
Here, I'll ask you one more. This one I thought was interesting. Is it okay to watch an R-rated movie on a flight? A, I don't think that's fair to other people. B, of course, I'm not the MPPAA. I don't know what that is.
You're not the police, moral police?
Yeah, moral police. That's what it is. C, I check my surroundings first.
Well, here's the thing. Because, like, I fly Southwest a lot of the times, and they have movies that are already available, and some of them are already R-rated. Now,
but they don't show the R-rated parts.
So, Todd was watching, what's the show that he watched? Peaky Blinders, okay? And some of it, and I looked over, and he goes, I don't think I need to be watching this show. I think if it comes to that part, you just zip through it. But yeah, like if I'm sitting next to, again, a 4-year-old, I'm not going to be watching...
You're gonna watch...
What is it, Pulp Fiction or something like that?
Yeah,
no.
You watch something more appropriate.
You know what I do on the airplane? I listen to a book, and I have it... Okay, I listen to the book, I have a show on, and I'm playing a game at the same time. And I have my headphone headphone half off and half on in case they talk to me.
Oh geez. Well, 58% of the people said, "Yeah, I'll watch an R-rated movie. I'll just check my surroundings first," which I was surprised. For me, it would be A. I don't think that's fair to other people. I'm not going to watch an R-rated movie.
Well, you don't have.
I've seen that. I see somebody looking on their iPad 2 rows in front of me. I'm sitting on the aisle. I can see their iPad completely, and I can tell what they're watching. I feel that would make me feel icky.
Have you ever been sitting on an airplane and got an airdrop from?
No.
That's never happened to you?
No.
I've been sitting on an airplane before, and somebody wants to airdrop pictures to me, and it's usually like, it's a.
How do they know it's you?
They are just airdropping them
to anybody.
Yeah, and it's usually like a. Like of their big toe or something, it's something. Yeah, it used to happen. I haven't had it happen to me in a while, but
unfortunately, we just gave probably some degenerate that listens an idea now. So
well, that's all who listens are just a bunch of degenerates.
Sorry, folks, I didn't say that. Send all the hate mail to Michelle. That was not me. No.
Hey, speaking of airplanes, I know you are one of the lesser people, and you don't have TSA.
Lesser people?
You don't have a TSA pre-check.
No, I don't. I don't have clear or any of that.
Okay,
I go wait in line with the peons.
I have TSA pre-check, and now I also have TSA touchless ID, which is at certain airports only. I think it's like Arizona, Oregon, Austin has it, which is really nice. And you don't have to hold your ID. You just go up, and the camera takes your picture. But it all goes in line with this digital ID they're trying to push down our throats. And you saw that the UK they're going forward with it. Like
so
King Charles.
Have a physical ID anymore?
No, it would all be on your phone. And look, sometimes I just want a coffee. I don't want a retina scan. I just want but if you think about it, you kind of already do have some sort of digital ID, because if you have Apple Pay or whatever on your phone, like have you ever paid with your phone before? So it's similar to that, but there's like some pros and cons with it. So they're promoting that it's going to promise faster travel. You're going to bank in, banking's going to be a lot more secure, and government services.
Well, there won't be cash anymore.
Well, so its supporters say it will reduce fraud, identity theft, illegal activity, blah, blah, blah. It could also reduce, here's how they're trying to get you, voter fraud. One secure login instead of 47 different passwords, and it's going to streamline the process, okay? That's how they're shoving it. The cons are privacy concerns, government overreach, data breaches could expose everything. It's going to, create a digital trail of your life and your behavior. We were talking about this today at lunch. It's like they're going to know when you go to the bathroom, when you don't. The tech outages would lock people out of all their services. The elderly could really struggle because, goodness gracious, my poor father-in-law, I think he has 5 Facebook pages because he doesn't know his ID. But it's also the risk of corporations selling your info.
Which is happening already. What scares me is people have already forgotten 6 years ago this technology would have been used to go after people like
who didn't get vaccinated.
You didn't get vaccinated? Oh, you won't submit and wear a mask? Well, guess what? Your digital ID is turned off, and so you have to stay home. You can't travel. We're not going to let you travel. That's what scares me about that.
That's what they're trying to do.
And we're not that far from that already.
Well, it goes into, it could evolve into a social scoring system.
They have this in China already.
Well, yes, and voluntary systems can slowly become mandatory, just like what they were doing during COVID. So like I said earlier, England is moving faster towards them. It's moving, and we're also moving towards a cashless society, which they're trying to do. I mentioned the TSA touchless
and the
ID.
whole cashless thing is only because they want to be able to track, and so when they charge you your taxes, they know where every dollar you went was spent, and they can get every little bit out of you that they can.
Yeah, and I just want to be able to get into the Texas Secretary of State's website and get my notary.
I'm glad that you said that, because here we are we're going to let technology take over everything.
It's been January.
How many times have you had a problem with your cell phone or your this week? We've been having problems with our internet service here off and on for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like, technology, AI is going to take over the world. You guys can't even freaking run the state government website.
No. I'm about to. I told you when you go out of town, I am driving up.
You have to drive down to the Secretary of State because their website doesn't work.
Yeah, and even my governing body, the the National Association of Notaries, I reached out to them and said, I cannot get my notary. I cannot get my stamp. I cannot get through to anybody. I cannot do this, and they could not help me. And it's like, so I'm just going to bite the bullet. I'm going to go downtown.
This technology, they'll sell it as, it'll streamline your life. You don't have to have all these passwords. You'll go through security much faster. They'll sell it to you that way. It is not designed to be good for the citizens. It's designed to be good for the people in power.
Living off the grid is going to look more and more appealing as long as I get my reality TV. And I can still shop at TJ Maxx.
And so TJ Maxx comes here, we're all good. We'll overlook all that. But I mean, it is kind of worrisome, and I hope people wake up and pay attention. And you're saying that it's voluntary right now. It won't be voluntary forever. It will be mandatory after a while.
Well, you know what's going on right now? Early voting in the runoff. So go out there and vote. Do your civic duty. I voted yesterday at Patriots Hall. There was no line. So go out there and vote. For what you believe in. Do your
America
research.
Free.
Keep America free.
Yeah. So, well, thanks for joining us, everybody. It was a fun podcast today, and we will catch up with you next week. Thanks.